Hello, everyone. In today's session, we are going to do something very special and extremely useful for your English fluency. Today, we will be focusing on B1 and B2 English listening and speaking fluency mastery. You and I will work together to build stronger vocabulary, learn how to describe situations, express ideas clearly, and speak with more confidence in real conversations. This lesson is not just about listening, and it's not just about speaking. It's about connecting both skills, so you can express your thoughts smoothly without stopping, translating, or feeling unsure. By the end of this video, you will feel more comfortable speaking in English about daily life topics, expressing opinions, talking about experiences, and communicating naturally with others. So, make sure to stay with me. Listen carefully, and repeat after me when I give you speaking prompts. This is your personal fluency training time. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss future English learning sessions, just like this one. Now, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin our fluency journey together. Imagine this moment. You are in a conversation with someone who speaks English, and you want to explain your thoughts clearly. Sometimes, you know the words, but they don't come out smoothly. Or you speak, but you feel something is missing, maybe confidence or natural flow. That is very normal. Almost every English learner experiences this. Today, we are going to train your brain to think in English more quickly and speak more comfortably. And the best part is, we will do it gently, step by step. We are not rushing. We are learning with calm confidence. Let's start with something simple yet powerful. Describing your day. This is one of the most useful skills because you use it every day in real life. When someone asks, "How was your day?" or "What did you do today?" you should be able to respond naturally. Listen first, then shadow my voice. Speak with me softly. No need to be perfect, only clear and natural. I woke up in the morning, feeling a little tired, but ready to start the day. I got out of bed slowly and went to the kitchen to make myself a warm cup of tea. The house was quiet, and I enjoyed that calm moment. After that, I took a shower, got dressed, and prepared myself for work. I packed my bag, checked my schedule, and left the house. Now, your turn. Speak slowly with me. I woke up in the morning, feeling a little tired, but ready to start the day. I got out of bed and went to the kitchen to make a warm drink. The house was quiet, and I enjoyed that peaceful moment. Then I took a shower, got dressed, and prepared for the day. Good. Don't worry about mistakes. Just keep going. Your fluency grows every time you practice. Now let's expand your vocabulary and improve your ability to describe things more clearly. A confident English speaker does not only say what they do, they add small details that make language sound natural and expressive. For example, instead of saying, "I had breakfast," you can say, "I had a light breakfast with toast and fruit before I left home." Or, "I made myself a warm breakfast so I could start the day with good energy." Adding small details shows fluency. It shows control. It shows comfort. Let's try. I want you to describe your morning, slowly, step by step. You can use this structure. I woke up and then after that, finally, take a moment. Picture your morning and speak softly without forcing. You can say something like this: I woke up early today because I wanted a calm start to the morning. I sat up in bed for a moment and took a deep breath. Then I went to wash my face and refresh myself. After that, I made breakfast and took some time to eat slowly. Finally, I got ready and started my day. Now, you try, pause, speak. Let your words flow. It does not matter if they are simple. What matters is that you're speaking without stopping. Good. You're improving already. Now, let's move into building expressive vocabulary. That helps you describe feelings, experiences, and situations. Because speaking English is not just about words, it's about expressing the meaning behind them. For example, instead of only saying, I was happy, you can say, I felt really happy and calm. It was a peaceful moment for me. Or, I felt excited because something good happened today. Feel the emotion and express it gently. Let's practice describing emotions together. Repeat after me. I felt calm. I felt relaxed. I felt confident. I felt a little stressed, but I managed it. I felt excited about something new. I felt proud of myself today. Very good. You are learning how to express your inner experience. This is fluency. Next, let's practice describing places. Because in real conversations, you often talk about where you went, where you live, or where something happened. Imagine a place you visited recently, maybe a cafe, a school, a park, or a store. Describe it slowly. For example, there is a small cafe near my home. It's quiet and cozy. The light is warm, and the chairs are soft and comfortable. I like to sit near the window, where I can see people walking outside. It feels peaceful, and I enjoy spending time there. Now your turn. Take a place you know, and describe it, with calm details. Speak slowly and softly. You are doing very well, and we are just getting started. Let's continue. When you describe a place, an emotion, or an experience in English, you are not just using vocabulary. You are sharing a piece of your perspective. And when you describe something with detail and softness, people can understand you more clearly. They can imagine what you are talking about. This is what makes communication meaningful. Many learners think fluency is only about speaking fast, but true fluency is about clarity, confidence, and connection. When you speak with calm rhythm and clear expression, your English sounds naturally fluent. So now, let's gently expand your ability to describe experiences from your daily life in a natural way. Think about the last time you went somewhere outside your home. It could be the market, a park, school, your workplace, or even a short walk outside. Picture it in your mind. Remember what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. As you remember, you are already preparing your brain to express it in English. Now, listen to me describe an experience, and then you will try your own. I went for a walk in the late afternoon. The weather was calm, and the air felt slightly cool. The sky had soft colors, shades of orange and pink, slowly fading into blue as the sun began to set. I could hear the sound of leaves moving gently in the breeze. There were people walking, talking quietly, and enjoying the moment. I felt peaceful, and it helped my mind relax. I walked slowly, paying attention to every detail, and I appreciated the simplicity of that moment. Now, I want you to describe your moment in the same calm way. Don't rush. Speak slowly. You can start like this. I went outside recently and... Then continue softly, describing what you saw, what you heard, and how you felt. Even if your sentences are simple, they are valuable. What matters is the flow. Good. Take your time. Let your voice be gentle. You do not need to impress anyone. You are learning how to express yourself. And that is powerful. Every sentence you speak is progress. Now, let's focus on expressing opinions, because at the B1 and B2 level, you need to be able to say what you think and explain why you think so. This is very important in conversations, discussions, and real communication. To express your opinion smoothly, we use simple phrases like, I believe that. In my opinion. I personally think. From my perspective. These phrases help your ideas sound natural and confident. Let me show you. In my opinion, learning English becomes easier when we practice a little every day, instead of studying a lot, in one day, and then stopping. I believe that small daily practice helps your brain stay connected to the language. I personally think that speaking out loud, even when you are alone, is one of the most effective ways to build fluency. From my perspective, confidence comes from gentle repetition and patience with yourself. Now, your turn. Choose something simple, something from your daily life. It can be about food, exercise, learning, work, anything. Then express your opinion using the phrases, I believe that. I think that. In my opinion. Speak softly. You are not being tested. You are practicing. Good. You are developing your fluency step by step. This is how it grows. Slowly, steadily, calmly. Let's continue. When we express opinions, it is also helpful to give gentle reasons. A fluent speaker does not just say what they think, but also explains the feeling or experience behind it. This makes your English sound complete, thoughtful, and confident. For example, if someone asks you why you prefer studying in the morning, you can respond in a calm and clear way. You might say, I like studying in the morning because my mind feels fresh and relaxed. I can focus better before the day becomes busy. Notice how this explanation is simple, and yet it feels natural. You do not need very advanced vocabulary to sound fluent. You only need clarity, calm rhythm, and confidence in your voice. Now, let's practice expressing your preferences, because preferences are a big part of everyday conversations. You can talk about what you like, what you don't like, and what you enjoy doing. Let me give you some structures to speak smoothly. You can say, I enjoy, or I prefer, or I like to. These small phrases help your sentences flow. For example, I enjoy spending quiet time in the morning before the day begins. I prefer calm places rather than loud or crowded environments. I like to take slow walks in nature because they help me breathe and clear my mind. Now, think about something you enjoy. It does not have to be something big. Even small details matter. Maybe you enjoy drinking tea, reading, watching movies, or listening to music. Say it softly. Speak it with me. I enjoy, and finish the sentence. Then add a reason, because, and explain your feeling. This is how your speaking becomes natural. Good. You are learning how to express yourself gently and confidently. Now, let's move into describing experiences in the past, because storytelling is a very important part of speaking fluently. When you tell a story, even a small one. You show how comfortable you are with connecting sentences. Remember, a story doesn't have to be dramatic or exciting. A simple experience, shared clearly, feels meaningful. For example, listen to this small story. One day, I went to a nearby bakery to buy some fresh bread. It was early in the morning, and the air smelled warm and sweet. The bakery was quiet, and the sound of soft music played in the background. I spoke to the person working there, and they were friendly and kind. I bought my bread and walked back home slowly, enjoying the moment. It was a small and simple experience, but it felt peaceful. Now, imagine a small experience from your life. It could be something that happened recently. Try to tell it in the same calm way. Start with when or where it happened. Then describe what you saw, what you heard, and how you felt. If you need to pause while speaking, that is okay. Fluency develops with practice, not pressure. Now, let's practice speaking in real time. Repeat after me, softly. I am learning to express my thoughts clearly. I am speaking more confidently each day. I am becoming more fluent step by step. I believe in my ability to learn and improve. I am proud of myself for practicing today. Feel the meaning of these sentences as you speak them. Confidence is not something that appears suddenly. Confidence is something we grow through consistent practice. And right now, you are growing yours. As you learn to describe your experiences, your preferences, your feelings, and your opinions, your voice will begin to feel more natural. You will notice that English begins to feel more familiar. You will start thinking in English more often, and slowly. Speaking becomes easier, smoother, and more comfortable. Now, let's go a little deeper into connection, because speaking is not only about forming correct sentences, it's about forming a connection with the listener. When you speak, whether in a conversation with a friend, a colleague, or someone new, people listen not only to your words, but also to your tone, your pauses, your comfort, and your presence. This means that speaking fluently is also about being relaxed and grounded while speaking. When you breathe slowly and speak gently, your voice becomes clearer, more steady, and easier to understand. I want you to try something simple. Take a slow breath in, hold it gently, and exhale softly. Feel your shoulders relax. When your body feels calm, your language becomes more natural. Many learners feel nervous about making mistakes, but nervous energy makes your voice faster, tighter, or unsteady. Calm energy gives you control. So as you speak English, always remember to breathe, pause, and allow your words to come out with ease. Now, imagine you are talking to someone, and they ask you how your day was. Instead of worrying about perfect grammar, simply focus on telling them one moment from your day. For example, you can say something like, "My day was nice. I spent some quiet time in the morning drinking tea and planning what I needed to do. Later, I worked, and I felt productive. It wasn't a very busy day, but it felt balanced and calm." These are simple sentences, but they express your experience clearly. That is fluency. Let's practice together. I will speak slowly, and you follow after me. My day was good today. I started my morning quietly. I took time to breathe and prepare myself. I worked steadily and did my best. I took care of what was important, and I allowed myself to rest when I needed to. Feel that. That is gentle confidence. Now we will expand your expression a bit more. When speaking at a B1 or B2 level, describing your feelings with detail helps you sound more fluent. For example, instead of saying, "I was tired," you can say, "I felt tired at the end of the day, but I still felt satisfied because I completed what I needed to." This gives a fuller picture. Or instead of saying, "I was happy," you might say, "I felt happy because I spent time with someone I care about." You see how adding the reason makes language more meaningful and natural. Let's try expressing emotions with reasons. Repeat after me, slowly. "I felt peaceful because I took time for myself. I felt motivated because I made progress. I felt a little stressed, but I handled things patiently. I felt grateful for the small, positive moments in my day. I felt connected to myself as I moved through my day." Good. Your voice is becoming clearer. Now let's practice describing people. Because in conversations, we often speak about others, friends, family, teachers, co-workers. To describe a person naturally, focus on gentle characteristics and mood rather than only physical features. For example, "She is a kind and thoughtful person. She listens carefully and speaks gently. She makes others feel comfortable when they are around her." Notice how this description creates a feeling, not just an appearance. Now you try. Think of someone you know. Think of how they make you feel. Speak softly. "He is supportive and patient. He gives calm advice. He understands others easily." Or, "She is cheerful and full of positive energy. She brings light into conversations." Don't worry about making mistakes. What matters is that you are expressing your thoughts clearly. Every time you speak like this, your fluency grows. You are not only learning English, you are shaping your voice in English. That is a powerful and beautiful skill. Now, let's move into talking about experiences in a way that feels natural and connected. When we describe experiences, we often focus on what happened. But true fluency also includes how we felt and what we noticed. This depth makes your English sound alive. For example, imagine you are telling someone about a weekend trip. You might begin by describing where you went, but then you add small details about the atmosphere, the weather, the mood, and your emotions. These are the elements that make language vivid and expressive. Without them, language can sound flat or mechanical. But with gentle detail, your English begins to breathe. Let me describe a simple experience and listen to how it flows. Last weekend, I visited a small park near my home. The air felt fresh, and the sound of birds singing created a peaceful environment. I walked slowly along a path surrounded by trees. The sunlight came through the leaves in soft patterns, and the world felt calm for a moment. I sat on a bench and just observed life around me. People were smiling, talking quietly, or walking their dogs. It reminded me that even small moments can be beautiful and meaningful. It was a simple experience, but it stayed with me. Now, I want you to choose an experience, even something small, and describe it gently. It could be a walk, a conversation, a meal, or a quiet moment alone. Speak slowly. Allow your thoughts to unfold. Even if your language is simple, it can still be beautiful. You might say something like, "Yesterday, I spent time sitting outside. I listened to the wind and watched the sky. It helped me feel calm and peaceful. simple, natural, honest. Let's also build your ability to speak about future plans. Speaking about the future is a very common part of conversation. You can use phrases like, I'm going to, or I plan to, or I hope to. These expressions help you share your intentions smoothly. For example, I'm going to start exercising more regularly because I want to feel healthier. Or, I hope to learn more English each week so I can speak naturally with others. These sentences are clear and confident. Practice this with me. Repeat softly. I'm going to continue improving my English. I plan to speak a little every day. I hope to become more confident in conversations. I am learning step by step, and that is enough right now. I trust my progress. Feel the strength in those words. You are not rushing. You are developing. Now, let's practice responding in conversation, because real fluency often depends on how comfortably you react when someone speaks to you. Imagine someone says, "How are you?" instead of simply saying, "Fine." Practice responding with a bit more description. You can say, I am doing well today. I feel calm and focused. Thank you for asking. This sounds warmer and more connected. Or if someone asks, what are you doing these days? You might respond, I am learning English and practicing my speaking. It feels rewarding, and I'm improving slowly every day. This shows progress, confidence, and personality. Let's practice these responses gently. Repeat after me. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I am learning and growing a little every day. I am practicing my English and feeling more comfortable with it. I appreciate the progress I am making. These responses show confidence and presence. Remember, fluency is not about knowing every advanced word. Fluency is about expressing yourself clearly and calmly. You do not need big vocabulary to communicate deeply. You need awareness, gentle detail, and steady rhythm. And step by step, that is exactly what you are developing right now. When we speak with others, our tone and our pacing hold as much meaning as the words themselves. If we speak too quickly, our message can feel rushed or unclear. If we speak too slowly, with hesitations filled with worry, our message might feel uncertain. But when we speak with a gentle, steady rhythm, like the rhythm we are practicing right now, our voice feels confident and natural. A fluent speaker is not someone who speaks fast, but someone who speaks clearly and comfortably. So as we continue this lesson, keep allowing your voice to find its natural, relaxed pace. Imagine a conversation with a friend or colleague where the topic shifts to daily life. A very common question people ask is, what have you been working on recently? To answer questions like this smoothly, focus on giving a small, calm summary. For example, you could say, recently I have been focusing on improving my English and building better habits in my daily routine. Then, if you want to add a little more detail, you can describe how it feels. It feels good to see slow progress, and I am enjoying the process more than before. Notice how natural and emotionally balanced that sounds. You are sharing information and also expressing your inner experience. Now, try to answer a similar question. Say softly, recently, I have been working on, and finish the sentence with something real from your life. Then add, it feels, and describe how it affects you. This is how we build emotional fluency, along with language fluency. Let's practice describing goals again. but with more detail. A fluent speaker often uses gentle reasons with their goals. For example, I want to speak English more confidently because it helps me connect with people from different places. Or, I want to improve my listening so that I can understand conversations more naturally. These small explanations show the meaning behind the goal, and they allow your voice to feel more sincere. Now repeat softly. I want to speak English more confidently because I want to express myself clearly. I want to improve my listening so I can understand others better. I want to feel comfortable speaking without fear of making mistakes. I am learning with patience and consistency. I am proud of every step I take. Good. Your voice is becoming more grounded each time you speak. Now, let's practice describing everyday tasks. This is very important for fluency because daily routines are often the core of real conversations. You can describe your daily tasks in a calm narrative style. For example, in the afternoon, I spent some time organizing my things and planning for the next day. I cleaned my space, made a list of what I want to do tomorrow, and took some time to relax. You are not listing activities. You are telling a soft story. Now, take a moment and describe your afternoon or evening in the same gentle way. Speak slowly and let the sentences come naturally. You could say, in the evening, I made myself a warm drink and sat quietly for a few minutes. I thought about my day and allowed myself to unwind. This is calm fluency. When you describe your life in English, even in simple sentences, you are teaching your brain to think in English. You are building connection between your thoughts and your language. This is exactly how fluency develops, not from memorizing long vocabulary lists, but from using language gently and consistently. If at any moment you feel uncertain or slow, remember, slow is okay. Slow is how fluency grows. Fast language does not mean fluent language. Smooth language means fluent language. Take a deep breath now and relax your shoulders. You are doing very well. Sometimes, speaking English can feel challenging when you are trying to find the right words quickly. This is something many learners experience. It is not a sign of weakness or failure. It simply means that your thoughts are forming faster than your English can express them, and that is completely normal. The key is not to force words, but to slow your thoughts slightly and give your speech space to form naturally. You do not need to rush to answer immediately in a conversation. You can pause, breathe, and then speak. Pauses are powerful. They give your mind time to choose the right words. They show confidence, not hesitation. Imagine someone asks you a more reflective question, such as, how do you handle stress? Or, what do you like to do to relax? These questions require a moment to think. If you respond slowly and gently, your fluency will appear strong and intentional. You could say something like, when I feel stressed, I try to take a break and slow down. I breathe deeply and remind myself that I can handle things step by step. This response is calm, thoughtful, and clear. Now try to speak the same way. Think about something that helps you relax. It could be music, walking, reading, sitting in silence, or practicing gratitude. Say it slowly. When I want to relax, I usually, and finish your thought. Then add a gentle explanation. It helps me because, and describe how it feels. This kind of expression deepens your communication and makes your language more meaningful. Now, let's practice speaking about memories. Memories are soft and emotional, and they allow you to express yourself with depth. Choose a happy or peaceful memory, not something complicated. Maybe a holiday, a gathering, a quiet moment with someone you care about, or a childhood experience. Begin by describing where you were. Then describe what you saw, what the atmosphere felt like, and how it made you feel. You could say something like, I remember a day when I sat near a lake with my family. The water was calm, and the light reflected gently on the surface. We talked, laughed, and shared simple moments together. I felt warm, safe, and connected. This is emotional fluency. It is language that comes from the heart. You can practice this on your own as well. Whenever you remember something meaningful, describe it slowly in English. Even if you are alone in your room, your brain is listening. Your voice is shaping your language. Your fluency is growing quietly, like a plant that grows slowly but steadily every day. Now, let's gently build descriptive vocabulary for expressing atmosphere and mood. These words help you paint a picture in conversation. For example, instead of saying, the place was nice, you can say, the place was calm, warm, and welcoming. Instead of saying, the moment was good, you can say, the moment felt peaceful, meaningful, and full of comfort. Notice how the additional description adds emotion and clarity. Try speaking slowly after me. The atmosphere was peaceful and comforting. The moment felt soft and meaningful. The environment was calm and relaxed. I felt present and connected to the experience. These words are simple, but they open space for your English to feel more expressive and alive. Now, take a breath. Place your hand gently on your chest. Feel the rise and fall of your breath, and allow your voice to soften. The more your body relaxes, the more natural your English becomes. Learning a language is not only training the mind, it is also training the breath, the voice, and the heart. You are learning to speak with presence. You are doing very well. Truly. You are building fluency gently, steadily, and consciously. As you continue learning English, one of the most meaningful skills you can develop is the ability to describe what is happening around you in the present moment. This helps your mind stay connected to English in real time, instead of translating from your first language. For example, take a moment right now and look around your environment. Notice the small things, the colors, the sounds, the temperature, your posture, the feeling in your breath. Now try to describe these things softly in English, even if the sentences are simple. You could say something like, the room is quiet. I can hear a soft sound in the background. I am sitting comfortably. My mind feels calm. These sentences are not complex, but they are powerful because they keep your attention inside the language. Now, gently try to describe your surroundings. Speak softly. Let your voice move at a slow, steady pace. It is okay if you pause to think. Pausing is part of speaking. Pausing is natural. Fluency is not about speed. It is about connection. Now, let's practice a short dialogue style, where I say something, and you imagine responding calmly. This will help you build conversational rhythm. Listen to me first. How has your day been so far? You can respond gently. My day has been good. I have been doing my best and staying present. If someone asks, Are you feeling okay today? You could say, yes, I'm feeling okay. I feel calm and centered. Thank you for asking. If someone says, what are your plans later? You might respond, later, I plan to take some time to relax and maybe learn a bit more English. Practice these responses in your mind or out loud. Let your voice feel steady. When you speak calmly, your English feels confident. Let's continue with expressing thoughts and reflections. Sometimes conversations go deeper, and people ask about what you think or how you feel about situations in life. To express thoughts clearly, you can use simple connecting phrases like, I feel that, or I've noticed that, or recently I've realized. These phrases help your English flow naturally. Listen to this example. Recently, I've realized that taking small breaks during the day helps me feel more balanced and relaxed. I feel that it is important to give myself time to breathe and reset. This is gentle reflection. You can do the same with any topic. Now, try your own reflection. Start softly. Recently, I've noticed that. Say one small truth from your life, then explain it gently. It helps me because. Speak slowly. No pressure. Good. You are shaping your mind to express ideas clearly. Now, let's practice describing people's emotions in conversations. This helps you connect better when speaking with others. You might describe someone you saw or spoke to recently. For example, she looked happy today. She had a warm smile, and her energy felt light. Or, he seemed tired, but he was still gentle and patient in his words. These descriptions have emotion, awareness, and empathy, and they show fluency. Now, think of someone, a friend, a coworker, someone you interacted with recently, and describe their mood softly. This is not about being perfect. It is about noticing feelings and expressing them with presence. Next, let's gently grow your descriptive vocabulary for everyday life. Words such as peaceful, gentle, warm, relaxed, steady, present, meaningful. These words help express emotional quality and tone. When you speak with these words, your English feels deep and human. Repeat softly. The moment felt peaceful. The environment was warm and comforting. I felt relaxed and steady. The experience was meaningful to me. Good. You are learning to speak English with emotional texture, not just structure. Take another slow breath. Feel your progress. You are moving forward beautifully. When you speak with emotional presence, your words begin to feel more authentic and natural. People can hear sincerity in your voice. This is something that cannot be memorized from textbooks. It comes from allowing yourself to express your real thoughts, slowly and calmly. Every time you speak English with honesty, your fluency strengthens. So rather than trying to sound perfect, focus instead on sounding present. Your English becomes more meaningful when you speak with awareness. Now, let's gently practice describing thoughts and feelings about daily situations. Imagine someone asks you, how do you feel when you start your day? A natural, fluent response could be something like, when I start my day, I like to have a quiet moment to breathe and settle my mind. It helps me feel balanced and prepared for whatever I need to do. Notice how the answer moves softly from action to emotion to reason. This pattern creates smooth communication. Now try expressing your own beginning of the day feeling. Speak slowly. When I start my day, I usually then add a gentle emotion. It helps me feel. Do not worry if your sentences are simple. Simplicity is clarity. Clarity is fluency. Let's extend this into describing routines with emotional awareness. For example, if you talk about exercising, you can say, I try to exercise regularly. It helps my body feel strong and my mind feel clear. If you talk about studying, you can say, I like to study in quiet spaces. I understand better when my environment is peaceful. These sentences show that you are aware of your internal experience, not just the actions themselves. This is what makes your English richer and more expressive. Now, let's practice describing a recent conversation you had. It doesn't matter how small it was. For example, maybe you spoke to a friend, a family member, a coworker, or even someone in a store. You can describe it like this. I had a small conversation with someone today. It was simple, but it felt nice to connect. We talked about how our day was going, and it felt warm and friendly. The focus is not on complexity. The focus is on connection. If you want, try describing your own interaction. Speak softly, slowly. I spoke with someone recently. Then add what the conversation felt like. It felt. And describe the tone. Warm, calm, pleasant, natural. Whichever fits. Now, let's strengthen your ability to describe emotions with greater detail. Emotions are not just happy, sad, angry, or stressed. There are softer shades, and these shades help your language become more expressive. Words like peaceful, relieved, grounded, supported, open, thoughtful. These give your speech depth. Repeat gently after me. I felt peaceful. I felt grounded and steady. I felt supported and understood. I felt thoughtful and reflective. I felt open and calm in the moment. Feel how these words create inner space. When you speak like this, you will notice that others respond more gently to you as well. Now, let us move to speaking about hopes and aspirations, because sharing your dreams and goals is a very human part of communication. You can say something like, I hope to continue learning and growing each day. I want to feel confident in my voice and comfortable expressing myself. Or, in the future, I would like to travel and communicate with people from different cultures. These sentences show direction and purpose. Try speaking softly, at your own pace. In the future, I hope to become more confident and expressive. I want to continue improving step by step. I believe that consistency will help me grow. I trust the process of learning. Your English does not need to be fast. Your English needs to be sincere, and sincerity is something you already have. You are doing beautifully. You are learning how to speak with yourself, not just speak English. This kind of learning lasts a lifetime. When you learn to speak about your feelings, experiences, and hopes with clarity and calmness, your communication becomes more meaningful. People do not remember every word you say, but they remember the feeling of your presence. A person who speaks slowly and gently often feels more confident and grounded than someone who rushes. So, as we continue this journey together, keep returning to your breath, to your calm voice, and to your natural pace. Now, let's build your ability to describe thoughts in more depth. Because at the B1 and B2 levels, conversations often include sharing your perspective on the world. Imagine someone asks, What do you think about learning languages? A natural, fluent answer could be something like, I think learning a language opens your mind. It helps you understand people more deeply and connect with different cultures. It takes time and patience, but the progress feels meaningful. Notice how the response begins with a thought, then expands into explanation and emotion. This is how fluent speakers share ideas naturally. Try speaking your thoughts softly. Start with, I think that. Then gently explain your view. Take your time. There is no rush. Now, let's explore how to describe small joys, because talking about what brings you happiness also improves fluency. For example, you might say, I enjoy quiet mornings when I can sit with a warm drink and think slowly. Or, I love listening to music in the evening because it helps me unwind. These kinds of statements help your speech feel personal and real. Think about something simple that brings you joy. It could be sunlight coming through the window, the sound of birds, the taste of your favorite food, or a comforting conversation. Describe it softly, in your own way. You could say, I really enjoy. And then add a gentle explanation about how it makes you feel. Now, let's practice speaking about responsibilities and routines in a fluent, natural manner. You might say, I have many responsibilities, but I try to manage them one at a time. I make a list, focus on what is important, and give myself breaks to stay balanced. This is calm and realistic communication. Try expressing your own approach to responsibilities. Start softly. I try to handle my responsibilities by, and describe your method, even if it is simple. You are learning to express your inner world clearly, and that is the heart of fluency. Now, let's practice describing energy and mood across the day. For example, in the morning, I usually feel calm and focused. In the afternoon, I might feel a little tired, but I try to stay steady. In the evening, I feel more relaxed and reflective. These sentences show awareness of yourself, and they flow in a natural rhythm. Try your own version slowly. In the morning, I usually feel. In the afternoon, I often feel. At night, I feel. Take your time. Let each sentence breathe. Now, imagine someone you admire. They could be a teacher, a family member, a friend, or even a person you've only seen from afar. Try to describe why you admire them. For example, I admire her because she is calm, patient, and kind. She speaks gently and listens with care. She makes others feel understood. Describing admiration teaches emotional detail and soft vocabulary. Think of a person now. Describe them slowly. Speak from your heart. Good. You are deepening your fluency through emotional expression. Take a slow breath. Feel how your English is expanding, not only in vocabulary, but in expression, tone, and presence. You are not just learning English. You are learning how to communicate meaningfully in English. And you are doing it beautifully. When you speak about admiration or inspiration, you are sharing something personal and meaningful. This helps your listener understand who you are, not just what you know. True communication always has emotion behind it. And as you continue learning English, you will notice that your ability to express emotions becomes just as important as your ability to describe actions. People connect with emotion. So the more comfortable you become with expressing your inner world, the more naturally fluent you will sound. Now, let's practice speaking about small victories. the little things you accomplish during the day that bring a sense of progress. For example, you could say, "Today, I learned a new word and practiced using it. It made me feel proud and motivated." Or, "I completed my tasks step by step, and it helped me feel organized and in control." Even small achievements matter, because fluency is built through many small steps repeated consistently. Think of something small that you did today that felt positive. It could even be this moment, sitting here, practicing English. Say it softly. "Today, I made progress. I took time to learn. I'm proud of myself." Feel the meaning. When you speak kindly to yourself, your voice gains strength. Now, let's explore describing surroundings with more sensory detail. Sensory detail means language that describes what you see, hear, feel, taste, or smell. Sensory expression makes speech more alive. For example, consider describing a meal. Instead of simply saying, "I had dinner," you could say, "I had a warm meal with comforting flavors. The aroma was gentle, and the taste felt familiar and satisfying." The words are simple, but the description feels rich. Think of something you ate recently. Speak slowly. The flavor was. The temperature was. It made me feel. Even short sentences like these help your mouth, mind, and vocabulary stay connected. Now, let's move to describing movement and rhythm in your daily life. This helps you speak about actions in a fluent way. For example, "I walked slowly to clear my mind," or "I moved through my tasks with patience and focus." Notice how adding emotion to movement makes language more expressive. Try describing one simple action from your day in this style. "I walked," "I worked," "I rested," and then add how it felt. It felt calm, steady, peaceful, grounding. Good. This is how fluency becomes natural. Next, let's practice soft dialogue responses, the kind that happen every day when speaking with others. For example, if someone says, "That sounds nice," you could respond with, "Yes, it was a gentle moment, and I appreciated it." Or if someone says, "I understand," you might reply, "Thank you. It means a lot to be heard." These responses show emotional maturity and communication depth. Now imagine a very simple conversation. Someone says, "How are you feeling today?" You respond softly, "I am feeling calm and steady. Thank you for asking." Someone says, "What are you focusing on these days?" You respond, "I am focusing on improving my English and building confidence in my voice." Someone says, "How is everything going?" You respond, "Everything is moving step by step. I'm learning to stay patient with myself." These sentences create connection. They show that you are present. Now, take one slow breath and notice how your English is beginning to feel like your own voice, not forced, not memorized, but naturally unfolding. This is fluency, not speed, not perfection. Presence. You are doing beautifully. As you continue practicing speaking in this gentle and present way, you will notice something important begin to happen. Your sentences will start to connect more naturally. Words will come more easily. You will feel less pressure to perform in English and more freedom to simply express yourself. This is the shift that happens when your mind begins to think with the language instead of thinking before the language. It happens quietly, almost invisibly, but it is one of the most powerful steps in fluency. Let's practice describing thoughts that arise in the mind during a calm moment. You might say, "Sometimes I sit quietly and allow my thoughts to come and go. I notice them without reacting. It helps me feel peaceful and more aware of myself." Language like this teaches you to describe your inner experience, not just external events. This deepens your ability to communicate. Now try describing a quiet moment you had recently. Speak slowly, even if the moment was simple. You can begin with, "There was a moment when I sat quietly." Then describe what you felt, what you noticed, what you realized. Let your words flow naturally. Now, let's talk about conversations with others. When we speak to someone, we listen not only with our ears, but also with our attention. Listening fully is one of the strongest signs of confidence. If you are truly present while listening, you do not worry about the next sentence you will speak. You trust that your words will come when it is your turn. Fluent communication is like a slow exchange of awareness. You speak, you listen, you breathe, you respond. Imagine a conversation where someone shares their feelings with you. Instead of trying to answer quickly, you can simply acknowledge their experience. You can say, "I understand how you feel," or "Thank you for sharing that with me." These sentences are not complex, but they are powerful. Now practice speaking supportive language softly. "I hear you. I understand. You're not alone in that feeling. It makes sense that you felt that way." These responses show emotional fluency, the ability to respond with care, not just with information. Now, let's practice describing your energy at different moments of the day. This will help build your descriptive rhythm. For example, "In the middle of the day, I sometimes feel tired, but I try to stay present and move gently through my tasks." You might also say, "At night, I often feel more reflective and thoughtful, and I like to slow down my pace." Try speaking your own version slowly. "In the afternoon, I usually." "In the evening, I often." Take your time. There is no hurry here. Learning a language in this way is like learning to breathe more deeply. Your voice begins to open. Your thoughts begin to relax. Your sentences begin to flow. And slowly, without forcing anything, you grow into your fluency. Now, I want you to imagine speaking English with someone in real life. Imagine a calm conversation. Imagine speaking slowly, confidently, gently. Picture yourself breathing and responding with ease. This visualization is part of training your fluency. The mind practices before the mouth does. Take one soft breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feel your voice settle into your body. You are doing this beautifully. Your English is growing with every sentence you speak, and your voice is becoming more natural, more grounded, and more expressive. As we continue together, remember that fluency is not something that arrives suddenly. It grows gently, like a plant that receives a little sunlight and a little water each day. Every time you practice describing your experiences, every time you speak slowly and allow your thoughts to settle before forming words, you are strengthening the connection between your mind and the language. This quiet growth is the most powerful kind of progress. It lasts. Now, let's explore how to describe environments with emotional tone. Because environments influence how we feel, and expressing that helps deepen your communication. For example, imagine a library. You could simply say, the library is quiet, but with emotional tone, you might say, the library feels calm and peaceful. The silence makes it easier to think and focus. Or imagine a busy street. You could say, the street is crowded, but you could also say, the street feels energetic and full of movement. There is a lively atmosphere that makes everything feel active. Notice how both describe the same place, but the second version expresses life and feeling. Now, think of a place that you know well. It could be your room, a cafe, a school, a workplace, or a nearby park. Describe it softly, like you're painting it with your voice. You might say, the place feels warm, or there is a gentle atmosphere, or it feels lively and full of motion. Speak slowly. Let the picture unfold in your mind. Now, let's deepen your ability to express emotional states throughout the day. Sometimes we feel energized and open. Other times we feel quiet, reflective, or tired. These emotions are natural. A fluent speaker can describe these states softly and clearly. For example, today my mind feels a little quiet. I am taking things slowly and trying to stay present. Or, I feel energized and motivated today. I am ready to take on new tasks. The key is not to force emotion, but to observe it. Take a moment to notice how you feel right now. Not what you should feel, but what you actually feel. Name it gently. You might say, I feel calm and steady. I feel thoughtful and quiet. I feel open and ready. I feel peaceful and centered. Whatever you feel is okay. Speaking your feeling is fluency. Now, let's practice speaking with kindness toward yourself. Many learners speak harshly to themselves. They say, I am not good enough, or I make too many mistakes. But fluency grows when you speak to yourself with gentle encouragement. You could say, I am learning step by step, or I am improving every day, even if the progress feels slow. This creates emotional confidence. Repeat softly, I am learning at my own pace. I am improving through practice. I don't need to rush. I trust my progress. Feel how calm that sounds. Now, let's imagine a conversation where someone asks you about your goals in English. You could say, I want to speak English naturally and comfortably. I want to express myself without hesitation. I want to communicate in a way that feels authentic and real. These statements are clear and honest, and they show maturity in language. Now, answer that question softly in your own words. What is your goal with English? Speak it slowly, with feeling. Very good. You are speaking from yourself, not from memorization. That is real fluency. Take one more slow breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, and release it gently. Your voice is becoming more grounded. Your English is beginning to sound like your own voice, not a copied voice. This is the real transformation. As your fluency grows, you will begin to notice how your relationship with English shifts. At first, English may have felt like something outside of you, something you needed to reach toward. But now, slowly, it becomes something that exists within you. It becomes a voice in your mind, a rhythm in your thoughts, a softness in your expression. When you speak slowly and intentionally, you give English space to become part of your natural communication. This is the most peaceful way to learn, through presence, not pressure. Now, let's practice speaking about experiences that involve change. Change is a universal part of life, and being able to describe it helps you connect with others. For example, if something in your daily routine has changed, you might say, "Recently, my routine has shifted a little. I'm trying to wake up earlier so I can enjoy quiet time before the day begins." Or, if your energy has changed, you could say, "Lately, I've been feeling calmer and more grounded. I've been practicing patience and taking life more slowly." Now try describing something that has changed for you, even if the change is small. You can begin softly. "Recently, I've noticed that." Then describe how it affects your mood or your day. Speak slowly, with warmth. Now, let's practice building fluency in real-time reflection. Reflection means thinking about your day with gentle awareness. You can say something like, "Today, I tried to stay present. Some moments were simple, some were challenging, but I moved through them one by one." This type of speaking shows emotional maturity and confidence. Now try reflecting on today in your own voice. "It was a day where Then express how it felt. "It helped me feel." This is natural, human communication. Now, let's move into speaking about hopes for tomorrow. Not plans, not pressure, just hope. You might say, "Tomorrow, I hope to continue learning. I hope to bring calmness into my day. I hope to notice the small positive moments." These small hopes guide your emotional direction. Try your own version softly. "Tomorrow, I hope to..." Let the sentence come naturally. There is no right or wrong answer. Now, let's practice describing another person's emotions in conversation. This is important because fluent communication is not only about expressing yourself, but also about understanding others. For example, "She seemed quiet today, maybe a bit tired, but still thoughtful and warm." Or, "He looked happy and light-hearted, like he had a good start to the day." Notice how these descriptions include feeling, not just information. Think of someone you interacted with today or recently. Describe their emotional state gently. "He seemed," "She appeared," "It felt like." You don't need to be exact. You are practicing awareness, not accuracy. Now breathe slowly. Your mind is learning to speak English with softness and clarity. Now, let's gently expand your conversational presence. Sometimes conversations are short and simple, like greetings and small talk. Other times, conversations go deeper, about dreams, struggles, hopes, relationships. In both types of conversations, your calm presence is what makes your words feel fluent. If a conversation is light, you can respond with warmth. "That sounds nice." "I'm glad you enjoyed it." "That must have felt good." If a conversation becomes deeper, you can respond with understanding. "I can imagine how that felt." "It makes sense that you reacted that way." "Thank you for sharing this with me." These responses are not complicated. They are human. And fluency is human. Now let's take a moment to appreciate what you are doing. You are not just memorizing vocabulary. You are shaping your voice. You are learning to express your experience, your heart, your observations, your calmness. This kind of fluency comes from the inside. It cannot be forced. It grows naturally as you stay present and consistent. Place your attention on your breath once more. Inhale softly. Exhale slowly. Feel your voice resting gently in your chest. You are not rushing. You are evolving. And your English is growing beautifully. Sometimes, when we learn a language, we focus so much on rules, grammar, and correctness that we forget the real purpose of language, to connect. Language is a bridge between your inner world and the world around you. When you speak softly and honestly, even simple sentences can hold deep meaning. So, do not worry. If your vocabulary feels limited, what matters is the feeling behind your words, the clarity in your intention, and the calmness in your voice. These are the qualities that make your English sound fluent and real. Now, let's practice expressing thoughts about daily situations and how they influence your mood. For example, you might say, I enjoy having a slow morning because it helps me start the day with clarity. Or, I feel better when I take a few breaks during the day to breathe and reset. These ideas are simple but meaningful. Speaking like this shows awareness and emotional fluency. Think softly about your own day. Identify one small thing that helps you feel balanced. Then say it slowly. I feel better when I... Finish the sentence with something gentle and real. This is your voice, learning to express your inner rhythm. Now, imagine that someone asks you about your goals for personal growth. A calm and fluent response could be something like, I want to become more patient with myself. I want to take life at a steady pace and appreciate the small steps I am taking. Notice how the language is soft, not dramatic. This type of speaking reflects maturity. Try your own version quietly. I want to. Then add why. It helps me. You are speaking from your heart, and that is fluency. Now, let's move into describing subtle emotional experiences. Sometimes we feel peaceful, but sometimes we feel uncertain, quiet, or thoughtful. These are real emotions that deserve expression. For example, today I feel a little quiet inside. I am observing my thoughts and trying to understand myself better. Or, I feel hopeful, like something gentle is opening in my life. You do not need to be poetic, just sincere. Take a moment to describe your emotional state right now. No pressure, just observation. I feel. Let the sentence finish itself. This is emotional fluency. Now, let's imagine a situation where someone is telling you about their day. Listening to others is an important part of conversation. You can respond softly, matching their emotional tone. If their day was good, you might say, That sounds lovely. I'm glad you had a good day. If their day was difficult, you might say, I understand. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm here. These small responses create warmth and trust. Practice responding gently. That sounds meaningful. I appreciate you sharing this. I understand how that may have felt. Your words become a shelter for conversation. Now, let's focus on describing the rhythm of your day. Rhythm is the natural flow of your actions and emotions. You could say, My day moved slowly and calmly. Or, The day felt busy, but I tried to stay steady. These sentences show awareness of movement, not just activity. Try describing the rhythm of today for you. My day moved. Then express the energy, slowly, quickly, calmly, quietly, steadily. Beautiful. Now, gently imagine yourself speaking English with someone you trust, someone who listens kindly and responds with care. Imagine how your voice would sound, slower, calmer, natural. That voice already exists inside you. You are practicing bringing it to the surface. Each sentence you speak, in this soft, present way, trains your brain to use English as a natural part of your inner world. Take another slow breath, in and out. Feel your chest rise and soften. Your voice is not something you push. It is something you allow. You are building fluency through presence, through patience, through gentle repetition, and this kind of fluency lasts. As you continue to learn, it's important to remember that your voice in English is something that grows through gentle practice, not force. When you allow yourself to speak slowly, to breathe between sentences, to find your words naturally, your English begins to feel more like a part of you. There is no need to hurry. Fluency is not a race. It is a relationship between your thoughts, your breath, and your words. You are learning to trust yourself in this language. Now, let's practice a speaking moment where you describe something you appreciate. Appreciating something means noticing the good in life, even if it is something small. You can say, I appreciate the calm moments in my day, when I can just breathe and feel quiet inside. Or, I appreciate the people who speak kindly and listen with patience. When you speak appreciation aloud, your words carry warmth and sincerity. Take a moment now and think of something you appreciate today. Speak softly. I appreciate. Then explain why. It makes me feel. There is no need to be perfect. Just be genuine. Now, let's practice describing time. Time can feel fast, slow, peaceful, or heavy. When you describe time, you help listeners understand your rhythm. You might say, today felt slow and gentle, or the day passed quickly, but I tried to stay grounded. These are smooth, fluent sentences. They show presence and reflection. Try describing today in that way. Today felt. Then add how it moved or how it felt emotionally. Good. You are building a calm speaking rhythm. Now, let's move to describing interactions that felt meaningful, even small ones. For example, I spoke to someone today, and the conversation felt warm and sincere. Or, I exchanged a smile with someone, and it lifted my mood a little. Notice how these moments are simple, yet deeply human. Think of one small positive interaction. Even if it was just a shared moment of silence, speak it gently. I shared a moment with. It felt. This is how English becomes a language of connection, not just communication. Now, we will expand your ability to describe your inner thoughts in real time. Sometimes you might think about your goals, your direction, or your growth. You can express these reflections softly. I am learning to be kinder to myself. I am learning to take life one step at a time. I am learning to trust that progress does not need to be fast to be meaningful. These are sentences of self-awareness. Speaking them helps shape your mindset and your confidence. Now repeat slowly. I am learning gently. I am growing steadily. I am patient with myself. I trust my progress. Let each sentence settle inside you. Now, imagine you are in a conversation and someone asks, how do you like to spend your free time? A calm, fluent answer could be, I like to spend my free time doing things that make me feel peaceful and grounded. Sometimes I read, sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes I just sit quietly and breathe. Notice how the language is simple, but expressive. You did not need complicated vocabulary to sound fluent. Try answering that question softly, in your own voice. In my free time, I like to. Then explain how it makes you feel. Your voice is growing stronger, not loud, not forceful, but steady, aware, and grounded. Now take a long, gentle inhale. Hold, and slowly exhale. Feel the calm inside your body. Feel the space in your words. Feel your English becoming something softer, something clearer, something truly yours. You are speaking from your real self now, and that is the most fluent voice you can ever have. Now, let's practice speaking gently about personal growth. Because at this stage of fluency, the ability to reflect on yourself becomes an important part of communication. Personal growth is not always dramatic or visible. Often, it happens quietly, the same way you have been learning English in this gentle, steady rhythm. You may not notice the change day by day, but when you look back, you realize how far you have come. You can express this progression softly. I feel that I am becoming more patient with myself. I'm learning to accept the time that growth takes. I understand that progress is not always fast, but it is still real. These words show maturity and emotional intelligence. Now try to express your own growth. Speak slowly. I am learning to. Then describe a gentle personal change you're experiencing. It can be simple. It can be small. It is still meaningful. Now, let's explore describing how you relate to challenges. Challenges do not need to be dramatic to be real. Even a small difficulty, such as feeling tired, feeling unsure, or feeling distracted, is part of life. You can speak about challenges in a calm and balanced way. For example, sometimes I feel uncertain, but I try to stay present and trust the process. Or, some days are harder than others, but I am learning to move through them slowly, without judgment. These sentences show strength, patience, and self-awareness. Try expressing your relationship with challenges softly. Sometimes I struggle with, but I am learning to. Speak it gently. This is fluency from the heart. Now, let's practice describing comfort, the things that make you feel safe, relaxed, and supported. Comfort can be found in small things: the warmth of a drink, the softness of light, the presence of someone kind, the quiet of your room. You can express comfort like this. I feel comfort when I sit quietly and breathe. The stillness helps me return to myself. Or, I feel comfort when someone listens to me with attention. It makes me feel understood and valued. Take a moment now. Think of something that brings you comfort. Speak it softly. I feel comfort when. Let the sentence unfold naturally. Now, let's shift into describing hopes for the future with gentle openness. Not pressure, openness. You might say, I hope to continue growing in ways that feel natural and true to who I am. Or, I hope to connect with more people and share meaningful conversations. These are soft, fluent hopes. They show direction without tension. Try expressing your hope softly. In the future, I hope to. You do not need to rush. Let your voice follow your breath. Now, imagine that you are speaking in a conversation with someone who respects you, someone who listens carefully and responds thoughtfully. In that conversation, you do not need to perform. You do not need to impress. You only need to be present. Speaking English is not about proving your knowledge. It is about being open and real in the moment. When you speak with presence, even simple sentences sound full. Now repeat gently, as if you are speaking to someone who truly sees you. I am here. I am speaking from a calm place. I trust my voice. I trust my language. I trust my progress. Your voice becomes warmer as you say these words. Now, let's continue describing the feeling of slow learning. You might say, learning slowly allows me to understand more deeply. Or, I am learning without rushing, and that makes the process feel peaceful and meaningful. These sentences show that you are not trying to push English. You are allowing English to settle into your life. Take a long breath now. Feel that you are not behind. Feel that you are exactly where you need to be. Your fluency is unfolding, softly, steadily, naturally, and it is beautiful. Let's move now into the deeper flow of everyday communication. In real life, conversations are not planned. They do not follow a script. They move naturally, shifting from one topic to another based on the energy of the moment. The more comfortable you become with simply allowing your sentences to form, the more natural your English will feel. You do not need to know exactly what you will say before you say it. You only need to stay present, breathe, and let your words come from your inner calm. Imagine you are speaking with someone, and they ask, "How have you been feeling lately?" You do not need a perfect answer. A gentle, truthful answer is enough. You could say, "I've been learning to slow down and take things one step at a time. I've been focusing on staying patient with myself." This kind of response opens space for deeper conversation and shows emotional fluency. Try saying your own version softly. "I've been feeling." Then continue with something real, something honest, something simple. It might sound like, "I've been feeling a bit quiet but steady," or "I've been feeling hopeful in a gentle way." Your voice becomes more fluent when it becomes more sincere. Now, let's practice describing the rhythm of your thoughts. Sometimes your thoughts feel fast and busy. Sometimes they feel soft and spacious. You can express this calmly. For example, "My mind feels quiet today, and I am moving gently through my tasks." Or, "Today, my mind feels active, and I'm learning to stay present inside that movement." Notice how the language is reflective, not analytical. It does not try to solve your feelings. It simply observes them. Take a moment. Notice your thoughts right now. Are they slow? Are they busy? Are they soft? Are they scattered? Whatever they are, speak softly. "My mind feels," and let the sentence complete itself naturally. This teaches your brain to think in English from the inside. Now, let's imagine a conversation where someone shares something personal or emotional with you. When you want to respond with care, the tone matters more than the words. Your voice can be gentle and supportive. You might say, "I understand. Thank you for telling me." Or, "I can see how that would feel difficult." These responses show compassion, and compassion is a universal language. Try responding softly, as if you are speaking to someone you care about. "I'm here for you. You did your best. You are not alone." These words hold emotional presence. Now, let's practice speaking about moments of peace. Peace does not have to be a big event. It can be something simple, sitting quietly, hearing the sound of wind, feeling warm sunlight, closing your eyes for a moment. When you describe peace slowly, your English becomes soft and full. For example, Today, I had a peaceful moment when I stopped thinking and just breathed. It felt light and grounding. Try your own version. I felt peaceful when. Allow your memory to guide your voice. Now, let's gently shift into describing connection, the feeling you have when you feel seen, heard, or understood. You might say, I feel connected when I talk to someone who listens deeply. Or, I feel connected when I speak with someone who understands silence. These are simple, real forms of expression. Take a breath. Think of a moment when you felt connected to someone. Say it softly. I felt connected when. This is the voice of emotional fluency. Now bring your attention back to this present moment, to your breath, your body, your voice. Feel how your English has softened. Feel how your speaking has slowed. Feel how your presence has expanded. You are not simply learning English. You are learning how to be yourself in English. This is the deepest kind of fluency, and you are doing it gently, beautifully, patiently, one breath at a time. Let's continue, deepening your ability to speak from your inner voice. The way you express yourself in English reflects the way you experience your life. When your tone is calm, your language becomes calm. When your breathing is steady, your sentences are steady. When your presence is soft and open, your voice feels warm and inviting. You are not just speaking English, you are sharing yourself. This is the core of fluency, and you are practicing it gently and beautifully. Now, imagine you are speaking to someone, and they ask you about something meaningful in your life. Perhaps a person you care about, a memory you hold close, or something that inspires you. When you respond, focus on the feeling of the experience rather than only the facts. For example, if someone asks you about a special memory, you could say, I remember a moment when I was sitting outside in the evening, watching the sky change colors. The air felt cool and soft, and I felt peaceful inside. It was a simple moment, but it stayed with me. This kind of expression shows the emotional quality of your experience. Think of a memory now, something small, but meaningful. Speak it softly. There was a moment when. Then describe what you felt. It made me feel. Take your time. Let the memory unfold, like a gentle story. Now let's practice expressing appreciation for people in your life. You might say, I appreciate my friend because they listen to me without judgment. They make me feel supported. Or, I appreciate my family because they bring warmth to my life. Appreciation strengthens your speaking and your relationships. Think of someone now. Speak softly. I appreciate. Then explain their effect on you. It makes me feel. This kind of expression helps your English become emotionally fluent. Now let's practice speaking about something. You're learning about yourself. Self-discovery is an important part of growth, and expressing it helps you connect with others in a meaningful way. You could say, I am learning to slow down and trust the process of my life. Or, I am learning to listen to my own needs with more attention. These sentences show self-awareness. Try it softly. I am learning to. Then allow the rest to come naturally. No judgment, only observation. Now, let's imagine a gentle conversation with someone who asks, what helps you stay calm? A fluent answer might sound like, I stay calm when I take a few deep breaths and bring my attention back to my body. I try to remind myself that everything moves, one moment at a time. Notice how there is no rush. The sentences breathe. Try your own answer softly. I stay calm when... Speak from your experience. Now, let's practice describing comfort in your environment. You might say, I feel comfort when the light in the room is soft. Or, I feel comfort when I am wrapped in a warm blanket. These details show emotional presence. Try describing something comforting around you. Even if it is simple, the room feels, the air feels, the light feels. Speak slowly. Now take a slow inhale through your nose. Hold for a moment. And exhale through your mouth. Feel how the breath softens your voice from the inside. Your fluency is not just in the words. Your fluency is in your presence. Now, let's practice gentle storytelling again. But this time, imagine describing a day that brought you joy. It does not have to be perfect or special, just a day that felt kind, peaceful, or meaningful. For example, there was a day when I woke up feeling rested. I moved slowly through the morning, enjoying the quiet. I listened to music that made me feel calm. I spoke with someone I care about, and our conversation felt honest and comforting. The day was simple, but it felt warm and real. This is the language of emotional fluency. Now try your version softly. There was a day when... Then describe what made that day feel gentle or good. It does not have to be long. It only needs to be true. Take another deep breath. Feel your progress. You are learning to speak with sensitivity, awareness, and connection. Your voice is growing steadier. Your English is becoming a reflection of your inner clarity. This is real fluency, and you are moving into it beautifully. Now, let's continue deepening your ability to speak with presence. There is something very powerful about slowing down, enough to truly feel your words. When you speak slowly and with intention, the language becomes fuller, more meaningful, and more connected to your inner self. You are not rushing to say something. You are allowing something to come through you. This is the real difference between speaking and communicating. Speaking is just sound. Communicating is connection. Let us now practice describing your relationship with the present moment. You may say something like, I am learning to be here, where I am, instead of living only in my thoughts. Or, I am noticing the small details in my day, and they help me feel grounded. When you express this, your English becomes a reflection of your awareness. It carries depth. Try it softly. I am learning to be present by. Let the rest come gently. Take your time. Now let's move into speaking about your surroundings in a way that reflects mood and atmosphere. You might say, the space around me feels quiet and gentle. There is a calm energy here. Or, the environment feels busy, but I am trying to remain steady inside it. These kinds of sentences show emotional awareness and grounding. Look around you now, wherever you are. Take a slow breath. Speak softly. The place around me feels. Let the feeling guide the words. Now, imagine someone asking about your current focus in life. A fluent, steady response might sound like, right now, I am focusing on growing slowly and staying patient with myself. I am learning to move through life at a pace that feels balanced and gentle. Notice how this answer does not try to impress. It simply describes your inner direction. Try your own version. Right now, I am focusing on. Then add how it feels. Speak with ease. Now, let's expand your emotional vocabulary gently. Words like calm, steady, grounded, gentle, open, patient, balanced. These words allow you to describe your inner experience with subtlety. They help you speak in a way that resonates deeply. Repeat softly, allowing each word to settle in your voice. Calm, steady, grounded, gentle, open, patient, balanced. These words are simple, but they are alive with meaning. Now let's practice describing how relationships influence you. For example, I feel supported when I am around people who listen and understand me. Or, I feel encouraged when I receive kindness and patience from others. These statements show emotional maturity. Think of someone whose presence supports you, even in small ways. Say softly, I feel supported when, and complete the sentence gently. Now consider the opposite, moments when you feel distant or misunderstood. You can express this calmly, without negativity. For example, sometimes I feel quiet because I do not know how to express myself fully yet. Or, sometimes I feel unsure, but I am learning to stay kind to myself in those moments. These words allow you to express vulnerability, which is also a part of fluency. Try saying it softly. Sometimes I feel, but I am learning to. Let your honesty guide you. You are building not only language fluency, but emotional fluency. The ability to speak from your truth, with softness and clarity. Now, take another deep breath. In and out. Feel how your voice is no longer separate from your English. Your English is beginning to feel like you. This is the transformation we are shaping together. You are not rushing. You are unfolding. Your fluency is growing in the exact rhythm it needs to. You are doing beautifully. As we move forward, let's begin practicing the gentle art of sharing your experiences in conversation. Real conversations are not about perfect grammar or perfect vocabulary. They are about feeling, attention, and presence. When you share something honestly, even in simple language, the listener feels the meaning behind your words. This is what creates connection. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your day?" Instead of giving a short answer like, "It was fine," you can open the moment a little more. You might say, "My day was slow and calm. I took my time moving through my tasks, and I tried to stay present. It wasn't a busy day, but it felt meaningful in a quiet way." This answer is not complicated, but it allows the listener to feel your day with you. Now try speaking your own answer gently. My day was... Then describe the mood, not just the actions. It felt. Let the emotion move your voice. Good. You are learning to speak with presence. Now let's practice describing your relationship with time. Time is something we all feel differently. Some days feel long, others feel short, and some feel like they pass in a soft, steady flow. You can express this by saying, "Today felt slow, like I had enough space to breathe." Or, "The day went quickly, but I tried not to rush myself." These are simple, yet expressive sentences. Reflect on today. Speak softly. Today felt. Allow the description to be honest and gentle. Now let's practice guiding a conversation forward. This is something fluent speakers do naturally. If someone shares something, you respond to the feeling behind their words. For example, if someone says, "I've been tired lately," you might respond, "I understand. It sounds like you've been carrying a lot. I hope you're giving yourself rest when you can." If someone says, I've been excited about something new. You can respond, "That's wonderful." It's beautiful to feel inspired and energized. These responses reflect understanding, empathy, and emotional fluency. They do not require advanced vocabulary, only presence. Let's practice speaking from empathy. Say softly, "I understand how that might feel. I hear you. It makes sense that you reacted that way. I'm here with you in this moment." Feel how gentle the language becomes. Now, let's practice describing the way your body feels in this moment. This is another way to strengthen your voice and your awareness. You might say, "I feel warm and relaxed," or "I feel a slight tension, but I am breathing through it." Describing your physical state helps your language connect to your presence. Take a moment. Notice your shoulders, your breath, your posture. Say softly, "My body feels." No judgment, just observation. Now, let's talk about silence. Silence in a conversation is not uncomfortable when you are calm. Silence is space. Silence is breath. Silence allows your words to grow naturally. Fluent speakers use silence, not to avoid speaking, but to allow their thoughts to settle into language. When you pause gently before speaking, your sentences become clearer and more grounded. So, if you feel yourself searching for words, pause, breathe, let the moment open, and then speak. This is the power of slow fluency. Now, imagine you are ending a gentle conversation with someone. Instead of ending quickly, you can close the conversation with warmth. You might say, "Thank you for talking with me. I appreciate the time we shared." Or, "I'm glad we had this conversation. It felt meaningful." This leaves a soft and warm impression. Practice this softly. "Thank you for this moment. I appreciate the time we shared. It felt meaningful to speak with you." This is graceful communication. This is emotional fluency. This is confident presence. Take another slow, deep breath. Inhale gently. Exhale softly. Feel the calm settling inside your voice. Feel your language continuing to soften and deepen. You are speaking not only with words, but with awareness. You are growing beautifully. Now, let us continue guiding your voice toward deeper confidence. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not fast. Confidence is quiet, steady, and grounded. It comes from the feeling that you are safe to express yourself. It comes from trusting that your words do not need to be perfect to be meaningful. As you keep speaking gently, as you breathe through your sentences, you teach your mind that English is not something to fear. It is something to relax into. Imagine now that someone asks you to talk about something you enjoy doing. Not something impressive, just something that brings you a sense of peace. You could say, "I enjoy taking quiet walks because they help me clear my mind and reconnect with myself." Or, "I enjoy listening to soft music because it helps me slow down and feel calm inside." These are simple statements, yet they create connection. Think of something that you enjoy. Speak softly, "I enjoy." Then describe how it makes you feel. "It helps me feel." Let your voice move slowly. Now let's practice describing transitions in your day. Every day has moments of movement. Waking up, starting work or school, taking breaks, returning home, resting. Being able to talk about these transitions naturally helps you speak fluidly. For example, when the day begins, I like to move slowly. I take time to breathe and prepare myself mentally. Or, at the end of the day, I try to unwind and let go of any stress I have been holding. These sentences are simple, human, real. Try your own reflection. When the day begins, At the end of the day, Let your mind remember the feeling of these moments. Now, let's practice speaking about emotions that change throughout the day. For instance, sometimes I start the day feeling energized, but by the afternoon, I need moments of rest. Or, some days I feel bright and open, while other days I feel quiet and reflective. These expressions show emotional awareness. Say softly, "Today, my emotions felt." Then describe the movement, shifting, changing, steady, quiet, open. Your voice becomes more fluent each time you describe your inner world. Now, imagine someone asking you what you value in life. You do not need to give a perfect or philosophical answer. You can respond gently. I value peace. I value kindness. I value honesty and patience. These words carry weight because they come from your truth. Try it softly. I value. Let the words flow from your heart. Now, let's practice the rhythm of speaking in longer, flowing sentences. You can connect your thoughts in a smooth line, like this. I try to move through my day with awareness, staying present to my surroundings and gentle with myself, even when things become busy or challenging. Notice how the sentence stretches like a soft ribbon, not rushed, not forced. Try something similar. I try to. Then continue slowly, allowing the sentence to unfold naturally. There is no need to plan. Just let it emerge. Now take a slow breath, a breath that fills your chest, and release it softly. Feel how your voice has changed since we began. The pace is slower, the words are softer, the expression is deeper. Your English is becoming not just something you use, but something you live inside of. It is becoming a language you feel, not a language you chase. This is the most natural and lasting form of fluency. You are doing beautifully. Stay here, stay steady, stay present. We will continue together. Let's continue. As you continue to grow in your English journey, it's important to remember that learning a language is also learning to listen to yourself. Your voice will change, your confidence will expand, and your relationship with English will become more gentle, more natural. Speaking a language is not something that is mastered in a moment. It is something that unfolds through time, experience, and presence. Every time you speak, even if your words feel simple, you are strengthening your voice. Now take a moment to notice how your voice feels right now. In the beginning of this lesson, your voice may have felt tight, unsure, or tense, but slowly. As we breathed together and spoke softly, your voice opened. It relaxed. It began to move more naturally. This is the sign of real progress, the kind that stays with you. Imagine now that you are speaking English in a real situation, maybe with a new person, or in a calm conversation, or even speaking out loud to yourself. Imagine that your voice carries this same softness, this same gentle rhythm. When you speak like this in real life, others will feel your presence. They will listen differently. They will feel at ease with you. You can say something as simple as, "It's good to meet you," or, "I'm happy to share this moment with you." And if your voice is calm and sincere, the message feels complete. Presence makes language meaningful. Now, let's practice speaking about meaning. You might say, I am trying to live in a way that feels true to who I am. Or, I want to connect with others in an open and understanding way. These sentences show depth and authenticity. They show that your English is beginning to reflect the inner you. Try speaking softly. I want to live in a way that feels. Allow your heart to guide the ending. There is no correct answer, only truth. Now, think of the future in a gentle and open way. Not a future full of pressure or expectations, but a future that unfolds slowly, moment by moment. You might say, I hope my future continues to feel open and spacious. Or, I hope I keep meeting myself with patience. These are simple hopes, but they are real and grounding. Try expressing your own gentle hope. For the future, I hope. Let the rest flow naturally. Now, let's return to the breath. Inhale slowly and exhale with softness. Your breath is the foundation of your voice. Your voice is the bridge to your language. Your language is the doorway to your expression. Your expression is the reflection of your presence. You have been practicing all of these quietly and steadily. Now, I want you to recognize something important. You have already changed. The way you speak now is not the way you began. Your voice is softer, your rhythm is steadier, your presence is deeper, and your English carries more of you inside it. This is fluency from the heart. Let's imagine the closing of a gentle day. The light becomes softer, the air becomes cooler, thoughts slow down, the pace eases. In this quiet moment, your mind begins to settle. You might think about the day and the moments that felt meaningful. Maybe there was a small conversation that made you feel understood. Maybe there was a moment of quiet where your thoughts became calm. Maybe you simply moved through the day with softness. These are the moments where your inner self grows. Reflect softly. There were moments today that felt meaningful. Even if the day felt simple, meaning exists in the simple. Now let us express gratitude. Gratitude does not need to be loud. Gratitude is a quiet appreciation for what helped you grow. You can say, I am grateful for the chance to learn. Or, I am grateful for the calm moments that helped me return to myself. This kind of gratitude expands your heart. Say softly, I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful for my progress. I am grateful for the voice I am developing. Feel the warmth of those words. And now, we begin to close our time together, slowly and gently, the same way we have spoken throughout this lesson. A closing is not an ending. It is a soft pause. It is a moment of acknowledgement for how far you have come. I want you to carry this calm voice with you into your daily life. Speak slowly, speak gently, speak with presence. Your English does not need to be perfect. Your English only needs to be honest. Speak from your heart, and people will listen. Remember this. You are not behind. You are not slow. You are growing, quietly, steadily, beautifully. Your voice matters. Your thoughts matter. Your presence matters. And every word you speak in English is another step toward becoming more fully yourself. Now, take one final deep breath with me. Inhale gently. Hold. Exhale slowly. Feel peace in your chest. Feel openness in your voice. Feel confidence in your being. You are learning. You are growing. You are becoming more fluent every day. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for practicing with presence and patience. Thank you for speaking with your heart. You are doing beautifully, and your journey continues.